So good evening, active traders, and welcome to Breakout Mastery 2017. I'm Ken Calhoun, your host, coming at you live straight out of Colorado in the US of A here on Wednesday, January 11th, 2017. Great to see all of you here. We're going to be looking at some strategies you can use instantly for trades, including some advanced ones. For example, ADX breakouts are one of my favorite. E-Trade. When the ADX breaks over 40, and I've taught this for years, and it's still a very good, valid strategy, often you'll see a new breakout in progress. Those are the type of lead indicators that I like to teach traders about, in addition to professional price action moves. So we're going to be looking at those kind of charts and more coming up in just a minute. But first, let's take a look at what we're going to be learning in tonight's event, and I hope that you get a lot out of it. I want to pack a lot of good content, as well as a description of the upcoming premium coaching course that I've got. This is the first in a 2-webinar series. We're meeting tonight with some core training and great charts to look at. Next week, we'll be looking at even more and advanced professional, intelligent, strategic, step-by-step breakout trading charts to learn from. As always, all information is for educational use only. I'm not making any advice about what to buy, sell, or hold, and by watching this, you hereby agree not to make actual trades. It's all for learning. So, your goal is to make as much money as possible with your winning trades. Am I right? I hope so. We're not in it to become technical analysts. We're in it to make money. That's my goal, is make as much money as quickly as I can. All right, money is a scorecard, and learning how to trade successfully is the benefit of doing so. So that's my goal, is to help you get there as fast as possible with what I'm going to show you in Breakout Mastery 2017. So your goal is to make a lot of money. My goal is to help you potentially get there as quickly as you can with what I'll be teaching you. If you have any questions, and again, I don't make any performance or profitability claims, average or typical trader results are that most traders lose money regardless of what they do. So we're going to try and give you a fighting chance and get you up to speed on professional techniques and tactics that make perfect sense for our current markets. If you have questions, feel free to ask. You may have seen me at the Traders Expo since the dawn of time, and I have been doing the money shows and Traders Expo since they started 17 years ago. So since the dawn of time, or in stocks and commodities, or my live events. I miss Active Trader Magazine. Bob was a great editor, and I've been teaching people how to trade breakouts for many, many years. You may have seen me, for example, there's a common theme in my current column that I've been publishing at Stocks and Commodities Magazine for the last, couple of years. The word breakouts comes up with frightening regularity because I'm an expert in breakout trading, and it's been a really popular column, and I'm really glad to have been able to share a lot of bite-sized tips and strategies in each month's session or each month's column for stocks and commodities. I'm a recognized world expert in breakout trading. I won't say I'm the number one. I'll let the audience decide for yourself, but anyway, I've established a lot of expertise in breakout trading with thousands of real money trades, and I'm the real deal, so hopefully I can help you learn how to trade during the upcoming year ahead. You may have seen me in my money show events. Typically, I will teach things like how to avoid false breakouts, how to scale into trades, how to trade gaps, how to do price action trades, and much more. So anyway, it's been my pleasure and my honor to work with so many people in the industry. Let me give you a quick link here to follow or to bookmark before I forget. We're only going to be here for half an hour, gang, so it's going to be Fast and Furious, which is a great movie series too with Vin Diesel, by the way, but I digress. Who can Breakout Mastery help? Both intraday and swing traders. I used to cover E-minis and Forex, but I primarily found that most of the questions are from stock swing traders. So that's the main focus of Breakout Mastery, though I will cover other markets on demand from my members. You get both core and advanced strategies or tactics. And the main goal is on our profit and loss to help you improve your breakout entries and exits. We're going to look at live charts in just a minute, but let me run through a handful of slides here to set the tone so it all makes sense to you and you can see what I've arranged for you in our Breakout Mastery yearly coaching program. I only do these preview webinars once a year. So congratulations, you're in the right place. I'll be doing the core training this week and advanced training in next Wednesday's webinar. So it's different content. I'm not going to go through these slides again, for example, next week. We're going to jump right into charts, but I'm going to set the stage and give you a quick overview of exactly what to expect. So, mastering breakout trades, in my humble opinion, having traded millions of dollars worth of stocks and ETFs over the last 20 years, is one of the top two skills is getting your breakouts right. Of course, small stops or money management's the other, and avoiding false breakouts is one of the most important skills that traders must know in order to trade successfully. Now, we've all been into bad breakouts. You get into a trade, it looks good at the time, but then it stalls and drops against us. And if we're stubborn, we don't close out the trade as soon as we should, and we take big stop losses. We have to explain that to our family, and that gets frustrating. So what I learned the hard way after blowing up a couple of trading accounts and making hundreds of mistakes over many years was you have to be much more selective in your breakout charts. So for that reason, we want to be able to continue on with that. And also, too, yeah, if you're a returning member, the link is good for, normally I just extend the current $4.97 rate for my returning annual members, but for the next 2 weeks, I'm opening that up for everybody. So you can join me for an entire year of monthly breakout webinars. It's the last Wednesday of each month. And I went through a lot of trouble to explain it, so I'm not going to re-explain that here. You can watch the video. There's so many views on this thing. You got a couple of weeks. We meet once a month and we go over advanced strategies, and we're going to cover exactly what those are in just a second. I'm a real money trader. This is my biggest winning trade in recent history, was making a few $1,000s in a single day. Not too shy. That's on a $40,000 account. It's not like a multi-$100,000 bajillion-dollar trading account. So I'm not a millionaire trader. I've traded millions of dollars worth, but I don't trade $1 million account. I have a relatively modest account that I've traded historically. Breakout Mastery, I look at it like an immersion coaching course where you get answers about how to trade breakouts with better entries, and it's a fraction of what I should be charging. This is absolutely should be a $19.97 or $14.95, a $2,000-ish priced course, but it's only less than $500 for the next week and a half. So I'm making it available at a great discount because I make it up on numbers. I got so many hundreds of traders. It's worth my while to give you guys a great value, and I want to give you price action breakout training and create a personal action plan that works best for you this year is our goal. Also, if you have charts that you'd like me to look over, we pull those up each month and we do interactive trainings I do quiz charts. I say, hey, take a look at this breakout. Where would you get in long? Where would you trail a stop? Where would you scale in or position size in? And really help you fine tune your own personal trading experience so that you know the difference between breakouts that work and those that don't, and how to develop a trading plan based on that knowledge. And also, if you have trading problems, what I call trading postmortems, you can bring a chart to the group or to the team, and again, just anonymously, and I'll pull up the chart and give you a step-by-step walkthrough on what you could have, should have, would have done differently, and if it would have been worth trading in the first place. So I'm not going to read all this stuff. I'm antsy to get to the charts, so I'm just going to do this PowerPoint. Then I got to jump into the charts because I don't know about y'all, but I don't have an attention deficit disorder, but I've got trading attention deficit, and I got to get into my charts. I live for my charts and I trade. I love to trade. I have a passion for trading, so I can't read PowerPoints. It's like if you've ever seen Dilbert, it's like must stop reading PowerPoint. But anyway, here's some of the things that I like to teach in the course. How to avoid false breakouts, how to do what I call a sequence of breakout trading. A lot of traders do hit or miss. Either you're all in or you're all out. And one-hit wonders don't last in the trading industry. If you want to be, like my institutional clients or professional traders I've worked with that come to my Vegas seminars, you need to look at your trading as a sequence, a story, like a story arc with a beginning, a middle, and an end. And hopefully you as the hero, right? Whether it's an unlikely hero like a Harry Potter or Dorothy from Wizard of Oz, or a balls to the wall hero like the guys in Gladiator and 300, great movies. Whatever kind of trading hero you are personally, that would be a good quick question. Do you see yourself as an unlikely or a likely success, hero? If you were to make a story, if you were to make a movie of your future trading, not necessarily your past, would you see yourself as a likely hero, which would be like the Russell Crowe in, I think that was him in Gladiator, or the movie 300, or Jason Statham in anything he does? He's a badass action guy. I love his movies. Or are you an unlikely hero, kind of like a Dorothy or a Willy Wonka or a Harry Potter? The unlikely hero story arc, or a likely I'm aggressive trader? It'd be interesting to hear. So post your answer now. Likely or unlikely hero story. Anyway, And as I wait for those answers, I'm waiting patiently for those answers. And what's that I hear off in the distance? Crickets chirping. I like to have fun. Anyway, you guys give yourselves a round of applause. How to drill down for breakouts, transforming your entry strategy, exiting before trades go bad. Let's take a look at some charts and see what I'm talking about, all right? PowerPoints are nice, but charts tell it all. One of the first things I want you to start looking at is the difference between charts that avoid false breakouts and the rest. One of the quickest, easiest strategies I've taught at my money show events and in the, in my articles and my live webinars is always be on the lookout for large green signal candles at the right side of a cup and or acceleration ramps where you got a steady uptrend that takes out steeper highs with a sharper angle breakout. Okay. One of the advanced strategies, and in Breakout Mastery, it's the only place where I use these advanced black background charts. We like to be able to spot breakouts in progress, and not only that, but where is the next likely breakout trigger going to be? And I'd like to post those for my traders so we go step by step through the very strongest charts. The reason I'm going through these charts is to give you an example of the types of charts I cover for my Breakout Mastery members. We do a lot of advanced step-by-step specific training for everybody, and it's a really good way to build your skills up quickly. And I'm notoriously impatient, so I like to go through charts relatively fast. If you're like me, you're not patient. I don't know how many of you are really super patient and you like to sit there and watch people slog through charts and beat it like a dead horse for 20 minutes per chart, but I'm not like that. I'm an active trader. I'm not a slow trader, and I'm not a theoretical chart talker. I'm a real money trader. So I like to give you guys the truth about the insights and things that I found work. So acceleration ramp, steady uptrend, sharp angle breakout. Of note, make sure that you've got my 10% rule. The price action should be at least 10% from the low of a 15-day chart to the high. So a $40-ish stock should have at least 4 points of range, like Citrip does. In my TradeStation presentation on Monday, I chose this as one of the featured charts, and I told everybody the most likely, I even drew it for proof. You can watch the replay video. I even drew it out. I said it's most likely to drop to around half and then pivot. And that's exactly what it did. The day after I did my webinar, I told everybody we would not want to buy at new highs because it's most likely to drop to a 50% mean reversion, right? And for more on that strategy, be sure to look at my mean reversion. I've got a day trading and a swing trading article on the top. Where is it? Mean reversion swing trading. That was last month's issue, December 2016. Mean reversion swing trading in stocks and commodities, which you all are subscribed to, right? So you can read my and other people's articles. Anyway, we expect that ahead of time. What's clever was I told the world's traders in my TradeStation event on Monday, right after the bell, to expect a big drop and that it would likely bounce only after it sold off halfway. That type of knowledge is very valuable to you as a trader, at least it is to me, because it helps me identify where things are most likely to go. And I go through the advanced step-by-step profiling of the different charts so that you can get the ins and outs delivered to you on a silver platter every single Wednesday, the last Wednesday of each month. So every single month, the last Wednesday of each month, there's 12 webinars total. First one is starting in just 2 weeks from tonight on January 25th. So if you haven't yet registered for my Premium Breakout Mastery training this year, be sure to do so. You got about a week and a half to go. So I give you till a week from Tuesday to get your registration in. Anyway, we got a big turnout this year for our Breakout Mastery sessions, and we like to go through advanced strategies like gap continuations and much more. We're going to come back to some of these other charts in just a second, but first, let's take a look at some of the curriculum points. One of the basic strategy points that I have taught so many tens of thousands of traders over the years is really how to avoid false breakouts, because it's much more important to trade for your profit and loss. The P&L is a much more important indicator than the chart pattern. And so one of the things you want to do is get in on charts that are likely to run. And you need to have a false breakout price filter, anywhere from 35 to 50 cents above the previous day's high, depending on the nuances of the exact chart we're looking at. For day trades, 35, anyway, I go anywhere, nowadays it's anywhere from 10 to 30 cents above the high because we got such a hot market. Swing trades, usually 50 cents above a 15-day high, Forex 30, 40 pips above a current multi-day high. One of the things you want to do is look at the variables that make up for false breakouts and just have a quick thumbnail in your mind's eye what to keep you out of trouble, what types of effects. For example, time of day. Monday is historically the worst, or day of week. Monday is historically the worst day of the week to trade. Time of day, we all know the middle of the day is the worst time to trade. Market opens are usually the best time to trade if you have a multi-day high breakout market. There's many other things that we look at. Average true ranges, average directional index, and the rest of it. We have cups and trading range extensions. What's the depth? And this is all under the general category of how to avoid false breakouts. It's really important that you take a look at the depth of a recent cup and a candle pattern to see if it makes for a good setup for a inflection point for new money to come in. Because think about it, gang, when you're looking for a good trade setup, your goal is not to be the chump who buys the high and then it plummets against you. We've all been that chump, at least speaking from experience. The bag holder at the top is not the right role to play in this particular movie. The right play to make is to buy an extension above resistance that's likely, like a magnet, to attract new buyers after you get in. So IGT, obviously, I wouldn't take the one in front of me. Quoting from The Princess Bride, another great movie, but I digress. Anyway, I've spent the last few years developing a resistance to iocane pattern. But as a trader, I also know not to get in right above new highs. I'd say 2710, because that's likely to going to be a sucker play. It's going to be a false breakout. It's likely to stall just enough to get the newbies in, and then it collapses and takes everyone out. And then to rub salt in the wound, it runs up to 35 without everyone. So you learn over time how to avoid false breakouts. And a good, intelligent, rules-based strategy, a strategic approach, is to make sure that you've got several factors at play or at work before you put on a trade. I'm a straight price action trader. I'm a professional. I trade price action and volume and my profit and loss statement. That's what I trade. That's my story. I trade the strongest charts with the strongest candle patterns. For example, if we have a nice large whole real body candle either at the right side of a bullish cup or subsequent to that, I'll buy a new high above that on a day after that, right? If we get a new breakout that continues on up, and so forth and so on. These are the kind of charts that you want to focus on, because if you buy 43, start to add to it up here near 45, sell it out right under 50, you can make a good round trip swing trade. And tonight I'm just covering swing trades. I'll cover some intraday examples next week for you. Other charts that are worthy of consideration: NBR. It ran from 16 to 18.5, 2.5 point run. What I like about it is the recent tall green candles, the institutional buyers. Even though they sold it down subsequent to that, that's still in the mind's eye of all the professional traders, and we're looking to buy new highs above the resistance area if it continues on up, because it's in play. It's got high volume, it's got good volatility, it's got great price action. Coming out of this base around 16 to 17, now it's up in the 17 to 1850 range. Now, next up, if it breaks the 18.5, it'll be in an 1850 to 20 box trading range. For more on box trading ranges, be sure to refer to the classic How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market book by Nicholas Darvis and Darvis Boxes and the concept of box trading ranges. One of the things you want to do as a professional trader is make sure they're using a box range approach, kind of like Jesse Livermore's reminiscences of a stock operator, which I am. I'm a stock operator. It's what I do. I'm a professional risk manager and a trader. What I'm looking at is what type of price breakout triggers are most likely to attract new buyers after I get in. Kind of that's the trick, right? You want to make as much money as you can. And to do that, you don't want to be the guy buying the high or trying to guess at a bottom. You want to be getting on board the freight train, or the bullet train, the Shinkansen. My wife's from Japan. It's great. I'm a big fan of all things Asia. Anyway, especially the women. But in the food, it's okay. But I still like a ribeye and shrimp and lobster. I'm a surf and turf kind of guy. Give me a Heineken and a ribeye and lobster and I'm good to go. But the point is, you're looking at getting on board the bullet train or whatever analogy floats your boat that's likely to attract new buyers after you get in. That's the trick in breakout trading. I'm a top industry expert in breakout trades, and the whole thing is not to buy a new high. Any idiot can do that, and many of us have the wrong way. What you want to do is buy a new high such that it's likely to attract new buying pressure into it after you get in. That's one of the things that I like to teach you guys in Breakout Mastery. So to To get at that, one of the things that I teach traders in the premium course is how to look at, say, the length of a single major run, whether you're day trading or swing trading, and get you up to speed on what you need to know to be able to get into a trade that's likelier to continue to run. And if you have any questions, go ahead and post them now. I've got a bunch of them coming in. I'll answer them in the order received. I'm here for you guys. I want to give you good professional training at a bargain. Speaking of which, Breakout Mastery it'll be $795 come January 26, but right now it's only $497, I think. So for a dozen webinars with me, that's a bargain. I don't know what that works out to. It's less than $50 a webinar. And these are the dates. You can see our first one is meeting January 25th on volume momentum breakout trading. And I go through I'm not going to read all this stuff. I'll let you read that, but that's the types of professional content. I used to be a corporate trainer for the Ford Motor Company and Rockwell International and McDonnell Douglas. We built the C-17 military transporter. I was on the total quality management program there. We've got a deep and extensive background consulting with a lot of big Fortune 500 companies like Sheraton and Chevron and others and Hyatt. And one of the things that I learned in my days as a professional trainer and now as a professional trader and trainer of traders is adult learning theory with interactive activities and exercises that are completely optional, but live in front of you in the webinar experience is a much better way to learn than just going blah, blah, blah. Look at the chart. You ever see Charlie Brown and you see the teacher and they're going blah, blah, blah? Yeah, that's what most of the trading educators remind me of. They're frickin' put me to frickin' sleep. So I like to bring a little humor into these things, plus professional trading savvy and interactive exercises and activities that really make sense. So that I get you to think. I ask you intelligent, probing questions that are designed for you to answer either to yourself or in the chat box and get you up to speed interactively, as though we were doing one of my Vegas seminars or one of my New York seminars or one of my Dallas or Denver or Los Angeles seminars, all of which I've spoken in around the world. Anyway, the point is you want to give some thought to an intelligent approach. Things like countermeasures for market maker specialist traps, that's more for intraday trades. For swing traders, we also look at things like how to trade second chance breakouts. There's nothing that bugs me like I get into a trade and I get out too early and then it makes a big run without me. Like I did with Netflix. I sold 102. I will fess up, I think it was near 102. I got the actual trade in my Trading Talk forum documented. But anyway, I sold way, way too early. Or MGM, I sold it way before it. Now it's up near 30. I sold it in the low 20s. So what you want to do is learn how to trade a second chance breakout. If you missed the first breakout, where do you get in on a second chance? Or if you did get a first breakout trigger, which I will provide to you in each month's session, where would you scale in? And for more on position sizing or scaling, refer to my colleague Dr. Van K. Tharp, the expert in position sizing. Anyway, second chance breakout. If you missed the first one, where's the second place to trade? Exactly. And how to develop a strategic approach and a chart pattern technical price action based approach that makes sense. Cash cup breakouts, what I call rising sun breakouts. We cover a lot of interesting advanced strategies. This is my best advanced training. So, this is the right place to go for advanced professional stock breakout trading strategies. And again, we do not cover the cheap penny stocks that moron amateurs trade. We do not cover $3 stocks like these 20-something moron kids who are misleading the entire trading industry trying to claim they're making millions of dollars trading crappy stocks trade. That's not how professional traders trade, gang. We trade things that actually have momentum. And one of the things, and by that I don't mean 3-minute pop and drop momentum, I mean things that have reasonably strong trends. Like the XIV is how I trade the market long, which is our inverse VIX, kind of a double negative, but it goes up when the market goes up, and instead of spending a bundle trading the spiders or the Qs, the SPY, you could buy a similar chart for $227 a share, or for the low price of only $55 a share, you can get XIV up at all-time new highs. Anyway, these types of charts in the $20 to $50 a share range are my wheelhouse, and that's what I'm an expert in. I've traded so many over the years. I can really help you learn how to trade those. And again, it's so much smarter to trade just 100 shares of a $40 stock over 1,000 shares of some $4 penny pop and drop crap stock. That's not how professionals trade, and neither should you. And don't believe me, go off and I inherit so many people from those places because they blow up their trading accounts. They come and say, help, Ken, it didn't work. The guy made it sound like it was so easy to trade penny stocks, but I blew up my account and I lost a shocking amount of money. So you don't want to be that guy or that lady trading cheap stocks or derivatives, the things that, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the derivative fool's gold that looks cheap on the surface. It's kind of like a lottery ticket approach or gambling approach to trading, which I don't think is intelligent. What I think is a rules-based professional managed trading strategy. So we do a lot of things in Breakout Mastery. Just briefly, I'm not going to read all these bullet points, of course. I'm just going to tell you the main titles. These are the first 6 months. This is the second 6 months of the year. We are now enrolling, and we start in January. The first class is on volume momentum breakout trading. In February, we do breakout turnaround trades. Okay, how to turn around for pivot trades or new entries. In March's session coming up, and these are the last Wednesday of each month, we do what I call accelerated breakout success strategies. And in that, we look not only at money and risk management, but how to spot the very strongest breakout patterns so that you're equipped with exactly what you need to know visually to look at. I don't go peddle indicators. I'm not one of these software salesmen. You don't see me saying, get my magic super duper 1, 2, 3 silver stratosphere breakout trading indicator, and it magically tells you green and red arrows of when to trade. I would think that y'all are mature enough to realize that that's a bunch of hogwash. For more, you can refer to the fairy tale about the magic beans, the Jack and the Beanstalk, which actually there's a pretty good movie out called Jack or something about Jack and the Beanstalk. If you like those fantasy adventures, which I do on occasion, it was a good movie. But the point is, there's no magic to this. It's all about price action and professionally seeing how to trade the strongest charts and leave the rest of them alone. How to visually scan for and avoid false breakouts. How to do what I call cup handles and identify the difference between, say, the handle at the right side of a cup. For those of you familiar with the bullish cup and a handle, is that an ascending triangle? Do we have a large green candle? Do we have another trade signal or a red flag? And I teach you what those are in that session. How to trade average true range and average directional index. I'm an expert at trading Wilder's ADX. You may have seen my industry articles or presentations on the topic. I even showed you a chart there a minute ago from E-Trade, ETFC with an ADX breakout. I cover that in this session. What I call rising sun breakouts. And this is looking at a twist on classic candlestick patterns, combining it with Western momentum triggers like volume and ascending trend breakouts, and how to separate or screen out the strongest charts from all that's out there. How to avoid false breakouts. In August, you're going to find out tape reading, micro cups, and also how to avoid false breakouts for swing trades. And we're going to look at timing to minimize stop outs and looking at the exact right time to enter your trades. In September, what I call motherlode breakouts, money talks, and that's where we're looking at how to combine multiple trade signals. And not just the average ones like volume and trend, but what are some other kind of hidden signals that are easy to spot that helps you know exactly when to trade. So got so much to look at. In October, pullback profits, how to trade, mainly about pivots or reversals or the 50% retracements or pullbacks that are tradable versus those that are not. Getting the difference in how to trade pullbacks is really valuable. We'll cover that in October. November, second chance breakouts. And December, we wrap it up with what I call apocalypse breakouts on sequential entries. And I want you to start thinking about your trades as a sequence of 1, 2, 3, kind of like a story arc, like I said, beginning, middle, end. Imagine you're a Hollywood scriptwriter or screenwriter, and you're casting yourself in the role of the hero, whether you're a likely hero or an unlikely hero. Either way, you want to be equipped to know when to exit a trade, when to re-enter, and when to add to a winning trade to scale in. So, and again, I'm a real money trader, former corporate statistician, quality engineer, top recognized expert, trusted professional. I kind of know my way around breakouts. I kind of sort of figured this out. It took me got off a long time, but I finally got there. So I like to teach you guys the nuances of advanced professional breakout strategies that you can start learning from. So anyway, register now, and let's wrap by looking at some more charts, and I want to give you a couple of quick takeaway strategies. My point before we do so, though, is that you've got a choice. You can try and wing it and go it on your own and have to explain to your wife or your husband or your pet chihuahua why you keep losing so much dang money all the time, or you can get expert help. I spend more money myself. I invest heavily in education. That's my number one expense, is personal development. So I spend a lot of money on coaching, whether it's life coaching or marketing or legal or how to be a better musician or web design or anything that's out there that helps me sharpen my own sword or sharpen the edge to get better at what I do. I spend a lot of time and money and effort on my own personal development. My number one criteria is I only work with the best, or the best I can afford. I only work with the very best. I'm not going to spend $10,000 an hour for some super famous guy. Say yeah, but I am going to spend quite a few thousand in monthly consulting fees and hourly consulting fees and Skype fees and all that with people who I trust, and that's money well spent. So, I would encourage you to give some thought. You got a couple of weeks. I'm not pressuring you for a decision. You got till the day before the first members webinar. So that's till January 24th. So you got almost 2 weeks to decide. It's only $497, which is a pittance. That's like one bad trade or two bad trades or whatever. And if I can help you dodge those bullets and get in on 15 or 20 successful trades, it'll be money well spent. So anyway, that's your choice. You can learn with somebody who's a recognized expert and proves himself as a real money trader, or go it alone and get frustrated and all that. The choice is yours. It's a little bit of money. I'm not asking the $1,200 that my marketing guy, he said I should price it at $19.97 and do an early bird at $12.97. But I said, no, let me cut that in half and then some to make it affordable to the world's masses of traders, to make it affordable. You have my word on this. This is my very finest breakout advanced strategic training using live charts. And we go through at least a couple dozen new charts every single month. And I give you specific strategies to trade them, to paper trade them, so you can practice with the different patterns and get yourself up to speed by educating yourself with professional training from myself as a trusted expert. I'm a UCLA graduate. I'm a former corporate statistician. I've got credentials up the yin yang, and I know this stuff. I know breakouts, so I know I should be charging more, but as a thank you for ordering now, I'm cutting the price way down, and it's only $497. So I hope I've made the case for why Breakout Mastery is a great deal. I mean, people are spending $329 for just 3 hours with me. Packed house, right? It filled the place up. We'd have people out in the hallway, couldn't get in. 329 people would pay to come and see me year before last, I should say, at the Money Show. I'm asking for just $497 for like 5 times as many hours of training. So yeah, it's just $497 for annual membership. And it renews annually. You can cancel anytime if you want. And I'm also adding bonuses just to kind of push you guys over the edge. If you're on the fence, yeah, sure, I'm generous. I'll give you a $100 off coupon, good towards any of my other downloadable courses. You got all this year to redeem it till, anytime by December 31st of this year. So you got a whole year to spend the coupon if you want. And you can also have your choice of any of these other courses that go up to a couple $100. Or if you got them all, and I know a lot of you did, then you can have a second $100 off bonus coupon as well. So the only ones that aren't included in that are the ones I've done with Steve Nissen and Peter Bain, because our counting is separate for our partner events. But any of my dozens of courses or whatnot, you can get on board and join the annual plan. So that's at breakoutmastery.com. I'd love to see you in the course. You have my word. I like to, and put me to the test. Ask me a smart question right now, and I'll give you a good, thoughtful answer. I'll stick around and answer questions from everybody. We've got a big turnout here tonight. This is cool. You can click the button, and it scrolls it up. Anyway, I'll be doing another event next week in which I will not be going through the PowerPoint slides. I'll just be doing all charts, but I hope to see you in Breakout Mastery 2017. Now let's get back to that ADX chart as promised. One of the best patterns to look for, and I cover this in one or more of the events, is looking for an average directional index trigger. And I published on this first a decade ago for eSignal, but if the ADX comes from below, like Jaws, bump, 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 ah. Anyway, it breaks over the 40, you're likely to see a continuation move. Now that doesn't work if it's a cheap chart or a choppy chart or a junk chart, or if it's cycling up and down. There's a specific pattern to look for, but it's a very consistent one. If the ADX comes from below and breaks over 40, it's an increase in volatility. I've since had competitors try and rip off my approach to ADX, but you can see my course even at adxmastery.com. I'm big on mastering university sites, and everybody copies that too, but I originate this stuff and got time-stamped and date-stamped proof. Anyway, ADX over 40 is a good threshold signal to consider going long the day or two after. You don't do it the day of, which is good, because odds are you're not going to see it the day of anyway. But you wait a day or two, and that usually makes for a good continuous uptrend using Wilder's average directional index over 40. Now, I purposefully cut out the DMI lines because I don't use them. I keep it simple. I look at the ADX. If we're trending up from below 40 to over 40, then that breakout's likely to continue on the day or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 like this one did after that. And that's the type of pattern that we look at. If you're looking at daily candlesticks, and I like using a 90-day daily candlestick pattern, one of the most important things you want to look for are obvious reversals, right? For example, here, and this is the first time in my life I've looked at this 90-day candlestick chart, was just now. I just randomly pulled it up. As a professional trader, I know how to deconstruct these guys. And what I do for you guys too is you can bring a chart or two every single session. I know I have one trader, Ron, from Israel over in the Middle East, and he always sends me 2 really smart questions beforehand because he can't make the events live. And that's another good benefit, is you can send in a question beforehand. Even if you know you won't be able to attend the live webinar, I will answer it for you during the webinar, and you get a recording in the members area, right? So, and I do have, and I only keep the most recent couple of month webinars there to save space for everyone, but let me show you what you get. You get access to the Breakout Insiders site, which is my companion site for Breakout Mastery. And you do get to, I'll even include the most recent 2 videos as my gift if you register now. So that's training from last year's events too. These were just posted a couple weeks ago for the December and the month before that, November. These are updated every single month, and you get the downloadable. And these are high resolution. So instead of these fuzzy streaming videos that these morons out there in the education industry try and make you guys squint and learn from, you get a high resolution Blu-ray quality 1920 by 1080 pixel resolution WMV non-DRM, so you can download it and copy it to your iPad or your Kindle or your laptop or however many of your own computing devices as you want. You can download these and keep them forever, right? And that's one of the big benefits too. You don't have to log into some membership site to squint at some streaming video. Let me ask you all a question too. I mean, I realize that that may not be great if you're on an iPhone and you want to watch it, but for those of us who actually use computers versus those blasted those infernal contraptions that have, I can go to you go to the restroom at a casino in Vegas and guys are texting with one hand and doing their business with another hand. I'm like, as my daughter would say, really? I'm not a big fan of cell phones. I don't even have a cell phone turned on unless I'm traveling because I'm old school. But anyway, my point is, how many of you like the fact that these are downloadable, high resolution, keepable videos that you can download and copy to an I use the external Seagate 5 terabyte hard drives. That's what I keep all my WMVs of all kinds on. Anyway, but how many of you like the fact that we have downloadable videos versus just streaming? Because I understand, I get it. If you want to look at a video on your cell phone, I guess streaming is a benefit, but I prefer to give you a high resolution so you can download it and watch it in crystal clear resolution on your cell phone or whatever other device you use. I like to use my big multi-monitor trading setup here myself, but yeah, Mukesh, good point, saying phone's too small for chart reading. Yeah, you're right. Yes, love it. Notepad you can view, great advantage, can always make live events, download is better. Okay, thanks. Everybody agrees, so good point. A question from Ricard, how long do you have access to each session? Just like you see here, for 2 months after it is broadcast. So for example, as you can see here, we've got the December session I did a couple weeks ago and then the November session. So I keep a rolling 2 months worth of videos there, and they're downloadable for up to 60 days after the webinar, after each webinar. To save space on my server, I don't keep, like years worth of videos. I just keep the most recent 2. And that's a good way to download the most recent videos. So you got plenty of time to access it. And yeah, Ted, if you miss a live session, yes, there's downloadable as seen here. Good question from Ted about what's the difference between this and swing scans. This one goes deep into advanced breakout patterns that I don't cover in swing scans or anywhere else. This is my best advanced thinking on, top grade specific strategies that I don't cover anywhere else. And we also use different chart patterns, and we use advanced indicators that I don't cover in swing scans. The swing scans is great for weekly updates for current What's Hot charts, and that's a very popular service. This is a good companion course because it gives you kind of consider swing scans like say basic and intermediate, and this is advanced because it gets into very advanced technical patterns that I don't have time to go over because they go over 14 charts in 30 minutes in swing scans, so relatively quickly. Here I'll delve into specific patterns and the thinking behind them and the reasons why they make so much sense. So for example, here you got previous resistance is new support. This hammer was the clue. That was the giveaway that the buy would be after that, right? So from a breakout trading standpoint, this minor gap, even if you didn't see this day, it's fine to get in here 28.5, 29, scale up over 31.50. But looking at the difference between those types of patterns on whether a 90-day uptrend continuation patterns or on the shorter term momentum charts is a good dual level of analysis that I provide in exclusively in Breakout Mastery for all the world's traders. I appropriately caution traders to be cautious, like these two charts. Citrip is a bounce chart. I'm a little more skeptical about that running because it's bouncing. Now, if you'd only looked at the shorter term chart, you'd say, hey, it looks great. But if you take a second look at a multi-time frame analysis and see, hey, maybe not so much because we're right under, barking up against 100 SMA line there, so, and the 200. So for that reason, I wouldn't be out, but I'd trade lighter share size up at new highs. 3D was a nice pop and drop a couple of days ago, but that doesn't have a continuous trend like some of the other charts does. So for that reason, you want to be cautious. This is a nice strong continuous uptrend chart in UCTT, which I'd favor because we got bullish lower shadows and it did a gap up continuation. So learning the difference between those types of patterns and the thinking behind why they make so much sense and how to trade them is what I specialize in Breakout Mastery for y'all. You have my word, it's the very most advanced breakout training out there for active traders, and you will not see me, other than the ADX, I don't put a lot of squiggly lines on it because I don't know about y'all, but I personally don't think if I add, let's add a CCI, that really helps. And ooh, fast stochastics, that sounds important. Ooh, MACD, everybody likes MACD. Ooh, an OBV. There's an OBV. Let's add that. Ooh, a parabolic SAR. It's a bunch of crap. Who needs all that? I mean, that's just me. I'm a real trader. I trade for money. The only thing I care about is price action and volume, right? That's what I care about is how can I make money in these things as they run. So all these squiggly lines, as my colleague Tony Turner would call chart spaghetti, that stuff doesn't really clarify the situation for whether or not the dang thing's worth trading in the first place. I like to give y'all the very best and finest, well-explained breakout charts as they move and the reasons why they make so much sense. And we do that again in each month's session. So, yeah, and it's a great deal, too. I shouldn't only be charging $4.97. At my point in expertise and credentials and fame and all that kind of stuff in the trading industry, this should be a $9.97 or $12.95, like my consultant said. He said $12.95, $12.97. He said I should launch it at $19.97 and lowball do a lowball $12.95 early bird price, but you won't pay that. You won't even pay $9.97. Wait, there's more. I love this stuff. It's fun. I sell so much because my training's actually good and it's a great value. It's only $4.97, no ups, no extras, and I am throwing in at least a couple $100 worth of bonuses. So you rebate almost half of that instantly too. So, you know, you can get $100 off of other stuff. So that's, you know, twice times two. So that's my most compelling deal of the year for advanced breakout trading. Again, now this may be a little over your head if you're a newbie, and if you've only been trading like a year, or you're like you've got a $200 trading account, you're trying to trade options or penny stocks or some crap like that. This would not be for you. This is for intelligent professionals or people that aspire to be professionals. This is for the thinking man and woman traders. And I have a lot of smart traders who've been members over the years. I've been offering Breakout Mastery. It's my favorite coaching program because it combines advanced breakout patterns with specific charts that we go through each month. So I have almost no PowerPoints each month. We spend all the time on a really long list of, you know, like this many breakout charts, and we go over the nuances of what makes for a good setup, where a likely entry trigger would be. I do interactive training. I would say, for example, okay, everybody, where would you likely do your free, and I'll go ahead and do it right now, just to model the behavior, successful professional trading behavior, what would be your first entry? Where would be your stop? Where would be a second entry? That's all I care about. Every trade you do should have in the back of your mind, where am I going to add to it to scale in, to build in? That's one thing that separates professional, successful traders from all the losers out there. Losers would say, oh, I'll do 1,000 shares once it breaks 12, and that's as far as they think about it. Successful traders, on the other hand, we have a much more conservative, measured approach. So, and the answer key I will go ahead and give you is I would buy 12.50, again, not a trade recommendation. I'd buy 12.50 with an initial stop at 11. I'd buy again at 14.50. And that's it. That's kind of it. That's the trading plan for the chart. I'd buy 12.50 because that's 50 cents above the whole number high. I usually scale every 2 points or so into my swing trade. So I'd buy again at 14.50. I'd only do a couple hundred shares. I only buy maybe 500 bucks worth of whatever I'm trading for the initial pilot, small size trades, and then I snowball the trade up as it starts to work out, if it works out. And the ones that go sideways or down, that's why I get to keep really tight, cheap stops. So if I buy, say 200 shares at 12.50 and it goes down to 11, that's not going to put me out of the game. If it keeps going up in my favor, I'll build the trade by adding to it at 14.5 and take it from there, at which point I'll trail the stop at break even. Anyway, we go through that type of thinking and the reason for this being a great chart is it's a gap continuation, which is my favorite chart pattern. Not only is it a gap continuation, but it's an ascending triangle, right? So that's good from a long bias standpoint. I still wouldn't buy it right at 12.20 because I'd expect a false breakout. Just like I told everybody in TradeStation when it was up here, don't buy up here because it's likely to do a 50% retracement and a bounce, which it is. So this one I might wait till it breaks over 16. But I like the fact that it ran from 14 to 17, but the whole real body candles are getting smaller, and we had a bearish engulfment up here, right? The fellow candlestick traders, and learn candlesticks from my colleague Steve Nissen. He's the world's top expert in candles. It will help your trading, or potentially help your trading. Well, anyway, you got a bearish engulfment up there, likely to pivot back to the downside. So for that reason, we don't take a new high breakout. That's how to avoid a false breakout, because we anticipate ahead of time it's going to do this move up, a retracement to around half or so, and then likely do a pivot as the next leg. So next week, we'll see if this thing can climb back up to 17, eh? But anyway, that's the kind of pattern recognition skill and skill building that I hope that you'll value in my Breakout Mastery coaching program. So, it's a total deal. It's a bargain. It'll be, the regular price will be up at $7.95 come a week from Wednesday, or I should say 2 weeks from Wednesday, after the session is officially launched. But I hope that I can see we got 13 days left to order, so you got some time to sleep on it. Our first upcoming regular members event is January 25th. If no other questions, we're out. I will get the replay of tonight's event. I'll do a downloadable high-resolution video link at the top of this page at breakoutmastery.com/profits/ Be sure to put the / there. And that will get you to this page, and I will have the downloadable complete video, unedited complete video link, like right here or something. I'll put that right here. I'll say, here's the link from our popular, hundreds of people registered for that link, and I'll put that there for you guys so you can download it and peruse it at your pleasure. Anyway, y'all have been an amazing group. I certainly appreciate y'all taking time. I know we ran a little bit over, but some smart questions deserved answers, so I thought I would take time to answer questions. And like I say, once you register in the members area, I will give you the December and November as unannounced extra bonuses too. So you get the last year's most recent 2 videos plus the entire upcoming year ahead up until the end of the year. So anyways, with that, I will see y'all in our next week's session if you're able to make it. Question from Ted, if we get in now, does the renewal go up to the regular price? No, it doesn't. I don't do that kind of bull honky like my competitors do. For all of my subscription services, you're grandfathered in at whatever low rate you get, whether it's any of my alert services or this or anything else. So you're guaranteed the price never goes up on you behind the scenes like competitors do. There's a lot of dishonest morons in the trading industry. I'm not one of them. I'm a UCLA graduate, honest, hardworking, workaholic guy that likes to treat you guys the way I want to be treated, which is why I got so many thousands of customers. So I appreciate it. But no, your price will never, ever go up. And you're certainly welcome to choose or not to renew. So a lot of people renew Hey, thanks, Virginia, saying thanks. I make things fun. I am trying. It's great because, this can be a boring topic if you let it. You want to make it exciting and successful and intelligent and focused and step by step in a way that really resonates with the world's traders and makes sense. So as we continue to grow, I certainly appreciate the continued support and the rest of it. Jim's asking about options. I cannot make suggestions to you as to what's appropriate for you or anybody because I'm not your registered investment advisor. I'm an educator. I can tell you how I teach and what I teach. And yes, from AEM, yes, the November and December archive breakout videos are included in the offer. Once you register on the site, give me 24 hours because it's not automated like some adult site or something. I got to manually set up your login and password with usually your first name, your last initial, and some random Unix password. And so give me, if it's daytime hours, I'll usually get it to within an hour or two. If it's the middle of the night, my time in Colorado, despite what people think, I do sleep. People always ask me, when do you sleep? I do sleep. Usually I go to bed around 10:30. It's a tip I got from my colleague Brian Tracy. He said, you should go to bed around 10 or 10:30, get a lot more done. And he's right. I've been doing that for the last decade and I've got a hell of a lot more done. So thanks, Brian. But anyway, the point is, and you guys should all learn from Brian Tracy. He's brilliant. I owe a lot of my success to my judicious use of time management and goal setting and action focus principles that I learned from Brian Tracy over the last 15, 20 years. I started off learning from him back with a video of something like 30 habits of all millionaires or something like that. And I implemented and it worked. And sure enough, I've done millions in sales. So anyway, Brian Tracy's a genius and learn from me. Go to his YouTube channel, Brian Tracy. That's your homework. Go to YouTube and watch some Brian Tracy videos. It's good for you. Like vegetables and exercise and help you do better. And this will help potentially help you do better in breakout trading. So that's me from a couple, 3 years ago with my cool looking suit and a shirt, just smooth as silk, right? Anyway, that's me talking about this. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Let me know if any questions, but our first member session coming up January. So I'd love to see you as a member. And I wanted to thank all of you for being here. And thanks, Edwin, saying thanks. You're welcome for a very insightful webinar. You're in Australia, aren't you? What time is it in? See, I remember. What time is, if I got that right, I don't know what time it is in Australia, but. Oh, Ireland. I'm sorry. My bad. I was at Shannon, Ireland on a business trip once. Beautiful scenery. And I remember the dolmens and the countryside and golfing at the castle there in Shannon. It was great. I'm Scottish and Irish. Calhoun's from Colquhoun, which is from Cone, which is like where Conan, Robert E. Howard got Conan from. But anyway, I'm Scottish and Irish background myself. So haven't been there in decades, but beautiful countryside. And the answer, Mukesh answers no. It's just remember, if you have to download, download the videos from your same home location. And the reason I have that is to prevent people from sharing passwords. So you got to log in from your same location at home, but you can copy the videos to your mobile device as you wish. So you can download the videos at home, then copy them. That's what I'll do is I'll copy them to Kindle, because I travel with one of those light Kindles, or if you like to look at them on a cell phone, you can copy it to a cell phone and travel with it that way. So it's you don't have to wait for it to stream. You got it on your mobile device. So yeah, you're free to download from home and copy to a mobile device and take it with you. I know a lot of my traders do that either on their laptop or a Kindle or a cell phone or whatnot. So it's another good way if you want to watch some of these videos for your reference while you're on the road. That's the best way to do it. So. Well, thanks, Ted, saying a good deal. Thanks. All right, well, thanks, everyone. I think that's about it. A good spot from Karen about 60-minute charts versus the 15-minute. Yeah, we're after strategically strong swings in breakout mastery. So as opposed to the 15, that's a good spot. You're smart. I like smart people. Anyway, you're right. I use a 60-minute chart. And the reason for that is I like to illustrate specific strength of patterns, and it makes it easier for traders to understand using these black background charts with the strongest patterns using a 60-minute versus a 15-minute time interval. So yeah, that's another change or a difference, delta between this and the swing scans charts, because I want you to visually anchor the very strongest breakout chart patterns so that you know how to trade them using whatever time interval chart. You can apply what I teach here for multiple time frames as well. So yeah, good observation. Ted's asking about CSX. Although I'm not giving advice, I would use I would use personally right under the whole number. So if I were long CSX, I'd be out at a loss no more than a $1 and $1.10, $1.20 is a major stop. I usually use a loss of 2-day support is another good rule of thumb. And I mentioned that in my trade station even too. If you're right under 2-day low, that would be the kind of the drop dead stop. I would likely get out if it got back under 37. I would scale in. The more interesting question is where to build the trade or where to scale in. We got all these nice, healthy, big green candles. I would add to it. We got a bearish shadow here. We've got a kind of almost a shooting star, not quite because we don't have it twice the whole body height shadow, but it's a bearish upper shadow, so it may drop here. I would wait till 38.50 to build the trade or to add to the trade. And it's the perfect kind of question that I like to answer for all my members in Breakout Mastery. So anyways, I look forward to seeing you guys as members. If you're still on the fence about it, take note of these charts and see how well they work between now and next week. And I'll see you guys in next Wednesday's event. If you want to go ahead and register now, I am taking members, and you can get started early so you can get access to these two events that I did just a few weeks ago on the sequential breakouts and second chance entries webinar that I did on end of November. And so those are two recent ones that you get as bonuses that I will get to you within 24 hours once you place your order now at breakoutmastery.com/profit. So anyway, it's good, honest training. It's good. Put your thinking cap on. I don't give magic bullets. I'm not in the indicator peddling business. I don't say, and if you get my special indicator, it does all the thinking for you. You don't have to do that pesky thinking. You can just mindlessly trade an indicator. That's complete epic fail. That's not how you, just like being a musician or a golfer, there is no contraption that does it for you. There's a big market for, like, I try and golf. I'm a bad golfer and I'm a bad singer. Like Clint Eastwood said, a man's got to know his limitations. And I know my limitations. I suck at singing and I totally suck at golf, but I keep trying. But I do not buy gadgets. I never did because I realized it's all about the swing and the mechanics and your body motion and that kind of thing. Even though there's a huge market for the latest, greatest, swing mechanic improver or latest, greatest golf club or magic golf balls or all that nonsense. It's not about that. It's like if you need to lose weight, you eat less and you move more. That's kind of it. There's like 4 words: eat less, move more. I mean, there's a little more to it than that, but that's kind of like the basics. You don't need to buy some fancy diet pills and wake up 30 pounds lighter and, this is great. No, it doesn't work like that. There's a lot of nonsense out there in the trading industry. Price action and volume is all that you care about, and money flow with your profit and loss statement. That's all you care about. Your unrealized P&L is the most important technical indicator. That's what I live and die off of, my unrealized P&L, my own real money trade. So I care about how much money I'm up. I care about how much money I'm down. I especially care how can I build a trade to build into a winning trade so that I'm leveraging in or scaling in or adding to a winner. That's where the real money's made as a trader. And I teach you how to do that also as one of the ongoing themes of the Breakout Mastery training course series. So I hope that this gives you some inspiration and some encouragement that, this is a good course to get involved with. It's not just like a lot of educators would only sell you like a 2-hour downloadable video course for $500. For me, you get a dozen live webinars with Q&A, live exercises, downloadable videos, monthly calls and charts to learn from, and the rest of it all for just the $497. So I know that's underpricing it, but I make it up on volume. So I know I'm not my marketing consultants, I work with a few of them, the top guys in the world. They always say never be the low price leader in your industry, always premium price after you built the credibility and the credentials, which I have kind of in spades. So I should be charging up at the $12.95 or $9.97 or whatever, but I'm trying to keep it affordable for you guys. So it's only $4.97 when you register. The only caveat is I'm trying to get all the orders taken care of at once so they don't trickle in all year long, and it's a pain in my butt to have new orders. Hey, you've got a new subscriber, you got a new member. If I can get everybody in and take care of it in a weekend, then I'm good to go. So save me time, save you money. It's good for me, good for you. To quote, what was that from? Full Metal Jacket, another great movie. Anyway, good for me, good for you. Save some money, learn how to trade correctly. I'm a big fan of movies and music. I like to keep this stuff light and professional and focused and intelligent and strategic and step by step. So you actually learn the difference between how to trade these things and what not to trade and make a difference. And you're going to be included in Breakout Insiders once you join now. So anyway, that's it. I'm out. We ran double time, but hey, good to be here. Yeah, climb the hill. That's it. Take the hill. Good question from Karen about shorts. No, if the market flips short, we'll flip our energy to the inverses. So I never swing trade short because I fear gaps against me. Nothing like, if you go short at 16 and then there's a buyout offer, like we've seen so much in the pharmaceutical and biotechs lately, right? And there's a buyout offer and now it's up at 26 and then you're long, a few hundred shares, you're down many thousands of dollars. So I do not like to swing trade short. If the market flips and goes down, we'll shift our focus to the inverse ETFs, whether that's things like VXX, which pivot. Doesn't look like it's going to anytime soon, But if the markets do drop, we'll go long and look for long strategies strategically in all these inverse ETFs that I've been trading for years. But so far, the market's on a run. It's on a heater up. So we want to continue on up at new breakouts. I thought the market was topping at 2,200, but hey, it's continuing on up, right? We got 2,275 in the S&P. So 2,200 was kind of the near-term top if you look back over years. 2,200 was kind of the top. The market's skyrocketing. It's continuing to get new buyers, right? Especially after today's epically fun press news meeting with our new president. So that was it. Just gotta chuckle at things. But anyway, it's the markets are on a heater, right? Markets are up at all-time new highs, so it's a great time to be trading breakouts. So until the market proves us wrong and it starts to drop, in which case we'll just flip to the inverse ETFs on coverage. So that way you'll be ahead of the game no matter which way the markets go. So yeah, we'll be covering that for us as well. So I got your back. Anyway, you guys have been great. Thanks so much for being here. I'm out till next weekend, or next week, I should say. I will see you guys a week from tonight in the final of our Breakout Mastery 2017 preview events. I hope that I've intrigued you, I've inspired you, I've educated you, I've given you some good, thoughtful tips on things to look for and how to trade them, and also some thoughts on differences between how this training, is of value compared to my other training, and how you can learn from it and benefit from it as we work together in the upcoming year ahead. So love to see all those members. Just give me a try getting orders coming in. Give me up to 24 hours to get your individual login and password assigned to you. And you'll also, I will manually set you up. I'll put your name in the GoToWebinar so that you're automatically in those. So you don't have to manually log into those each month or anything like that. I do that as a courtesy for you guys, but that way I register you automatically for the upcoming members events once you join as a member. So that way you'll automatically get the notification from GoToWebinar the day before and an hour before. And of course, you'll see that the downloadable videos in the members area the day after as well. So I got you taken care of for this year for Breakouts. I'd love to see you guys join me as members of Breakout Mastery. And until next time, peace, I'm out. And y'all trade with passion. And thanks, Karen, for signing up. I appreciate it. And thanks, Ted. And for all of you who had been members of 2016, you saw well the alerts worked out and the training and all the rest of it. Now's a good time to renew. I didn't have it on auto renew. This time it is, but historically I've not had it as a yearly subscription. But to save you guys money, even though prices go up, you guys get locked in at the low initial price. So anyway, if you were a member 2016, your time is up and you can't get into the members area anymore. I closed off the access for all the annuals because you guys were done December 31st. So rejoin now while it's still on sale. If you were with me, I had so many of you with me last year, now's the right time to rejoin. And all of you who are new to working with me, it's a great way to get your feet wet with professional breakout training. And again, for more previews on the quality and the thought process and the intelligence of my training, take a look at my articles in Stocks and Commodities, like this month's issue or last month's issue or the month before. The whole past year and a half, I'm a regular featured columnist in Stocks and Commodities magazine, and you can take a look at some of my thinking process. These are nice, quick 500-word type articles. I give a trade setup strategy and a pattern and an example of how it works, the entry and exit and trade management notes. This is a good way to get familiar at least on the surface of some of my effective breakout trading strategies, and then to get in-depth training with me, work with me in breakout in the Breakout Mastery course this year. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for all the questions. I stuck around for half an hour because a lot of good smart questions from you guys. I'll see y'all in our next session. Remember to look for the replay of tonight's video coming up soon. Probably later tonight or tomorrow morning at the latest. It'll be up here at the top of the page. I'll say here's a link from the January 11th session, and I'll do the same for next week too, so you can download it and keep it and skim through it and enjoy it, and hopefully pick up some ideas that can help you make more money in your breakout trades this year, because we got such a great market. It's a good time to learn with me. So take care, and until next time, trade with passion, trade with small stops, try to make as much money as you can, and I will see you in our next event.